So I'm going to do a short video with all the different, a couple of them actually, of all the different secret societies and their emblems, because honestly, we're not even scratching the surface of anything until that's addressed. That can't just go under the radar. And I would doubt that you'll ever get anybody in Washington to address that. Because most of them came from secret societies. I found another one that they say is disbanded, but I don't believe it is, out of University of Chicago, called Owl and Serpent. Yep, going all the way back to 1872. So that's the problem. You have, Yale, which has, I mean, just there are like seven major ones: Scroll and Key, Skull and Bones, Book and Snake, Myth and some, and they're all dark. I mean, Owl and Serpent, they're all dark secret societies. And then those people go on to become our leaderships. The Rockefellers, the Cheneys, the Bushes, the Clint, I mean, all of them, I think in these secret societies that something happens to them at the university. Whatever rituals they do, they lose their any moral fabric to them, and everything just becomes about their success and whatever they have to do to get it. I don't know. It's just there's so many people that are, and most everybody in leadership, most of your CEO, all from these secret societies. It's not just presidents or upcoming presidents that go to Bohemian Grove. It's your most elite, and from these secret societies. So I think until that's addressed, no matter what you do to fix it, you're never going to have it fixed. Because where do you hear all the experts are from? The experts were always told are from these universities that really are just trash, because they take these kids and then they get in these secret societies and then they change something. Something has to happen to them, because they all go on to be like your Anthony Fauci's and many others. All they care about is money and power and control. They don't care if they have to traffic children, torture children. And I think we've been made to live in this world that says, if you want to manifest all your dreams, you need to think everything's positive around you. Well, that's convenient for your Oprah Winfrey's to say stuff like that, right? Right? Because then you'll just ignore the bad. I mean, we've become so weak. It's like, oh, I don't want to think about what they do to children. No, no. And it's like, that's bad. It's just not good. I mean, nobody wants to think about it, but really, that's what's upsetting about the border. I mean, the UN is funding that. The United Nations is funding our border, doing all of this with us. I mean, we're living in a country where we are traffickers. Our country is our government is traffickers. And it's bad enough that they put the kids in labor, but let's face it, many of them will be tortured and killed. And a lot of people would say, "Oh, I don't want to think about that." Well, yeah, you can play that game and say, "Oh, I'm just not going to think about it," but it's not very helpful to the children, is it? No. So I think we have to become stronger. It's everybody can complain about our country and it's this and it's that and look at what they're doing to us, but ultimately it's about those kids. I mean, I would guarantee that's what it's about for God. So God is shown in history throughout the Bible, which is a history book, that he will hand countries over. He has no problem doing it if they're not going to wake up to what they need to see. And what needs to be seen and spoken up about is the kids, the trafficking. And you know what? I said in my last video about liberals, it's not even that for me anymore. It's not even about, I mean, if liberals want to stay in their box of it, oh, we're just going to go after you. It's like, then, you know what? Let your Saul Alinsky play that game, because that's who you're being controlled by. You're falling right into the Saul Alinsky playbook. But so I don't really care what they say, but I don't care what conservatives say either if they were against anything I'm saying. Because it's not about that. It's gone way past party lines at this point. It's way past that. It has been. I think a lot of people see that. Um, but ultimately, even if you close the borders, you're still going to have a problem because these secret societies is where the news puts on these supposed experts, and all those experts come out of these University of Illinois Chicago, Northwestern, wherever, you know them all, Yale, Harvard, those are your biggest ones. And yet they're from secret societies. If they're on the news, I would almost guarantee that they're from a secret society. Look at that. Anthony Fauci didn't even have a moral compass enough to not lock people down. Now, I think he's just a dark person altogether. But I think most of these people from the secret societies are, because they're dark in general. The names of them are dark. Their rituals are dark, proving the Bible. So we don't even have a government that's even addressing that. Nobody's ever talked about that, have they? And that's ultimately at the root of this wickedness, is these secret societies. Yeah, they want to get you focused on the Church of Satan and those things that are out there. It's all to distract you. Ultimately, these universities, they need to be gutted. They just do. I mean, if all that's going to form out of these universities is these secret cults, and that's what they are, as cults, then we shouldn't have the universities, because it ends up leading to tortured and sacrificed and brutalized children being brutalized, children being used for God knows what, labor, everything you can think of under the sun. We no longer should have experts on the news that come from these places. We shouldn't. I'm tired. I'm so tired of experts, because in order to be an expert, you have to have a moral compass, and these people don't, because they came from secret societies. So they can have all that education. It's why I bring it up so much. They could have been in the university for 15 years. I don't see them as smart necessarily. Maybe they've learned some academia. But most of them, especially the ones on the news, in science, in psychology, that they prop up on the news, they have no moral compass. And it's likely because they were in a secret society, or else they wouldn't be on the news. So, the word expert really needs to be, it needs to be grandfathered out. It needs to be eliminated. Because when you sell out to a secret society and decide you're just going to care about yourself and care about you getting ahead, and then you really just become part of a cult and a mob organization, then we really should recognize that no, whenever somebody from Harvard comes on the TV, we really should think twice about anything they say. Because look at BlackRock owns the media, right? CNN, Fox, all of them. Yeah, so they're going to put out people from those secret societies. It's the reason we got Anthony Fauci for 4 years. Everybody that works at CDC, likely, they have this. That's why you see the mindset of all these people that work at CDC, the people in the unions, the people, and I'm not saying the members, I'm saying at the top of them. They have, in healthcare anyway, they have a one-track mind, and it has nothing to do with the common good. They use that as we're thinking of others. They never were thinking about others. Anybody that locked people down wasn't thinking about others, because they took away quality of life. Anybody in healthcare should have known that right away. You won't save anybody by taking quality of life away, taking their families away from them. But most of these people wanted to do it to serve what? Their goal of destroying America, because they're soulless people. They sold out to some secret society, and then you have all your other people that get on board with all that. And the next thing you know, they're just as soulless if they get on board with that. It's why I call all these unions and these associations out, because they're no different than these people from the secret societies. So we really have to be stronger and face the truth of that what they do to these kids, and not be weak about it, and stand up for those kids. And then at the same time, we need to say there needs to an end put to the universities.